Now, this I know you're going to be interested in because this is something that you've been talking about wanting for years now. What if I told you for the low price of $1 million, you could have a candlelight dinner with Donald and Melania Trump? This is just one of several benefits that donors to the Trump Vance Inaugural Committee receive. Highlights of the schedule of events for the elite donors and fundraisers include a reception with cabinet picks and a dinner with Vice President elect J.D. Vance and his wife, Usha Vance, on January 18th, and an elegant and intimate dinner with President Donald J. Trump and Mrs. Melania Trump on January 19th, described as the pinnacle event. Before the dissemination of this flyer, Mrs. Trump had not confirmed her plans to attend the inaugural festivities, which include a Sunday morning interfaith service that the materials say she plans to attend with Mr. Trump. Donors also receive 6 tickets to the inauguration, the parade and starlight ball on the evening of the inauguration. You can also get access to these events by raising $2 million for this committee. Donating to the inaugural committee is typically an opportunity for corporations and special interests to get on an incoming president's radar in hopes of currying favor with the administration. And some will even admit that explicitly. After Trump won in 2016, a venture capitalist in California, Imad Zuberi, donated nearly $1 million illegally through his company to Trump's inaugural committee after donating heavily to Democrats during the 2016 campaign. He was sentenced in 2021 to 12 years in prison on charges related to his illegal donation. Zuberi has acknowledged that his political donations were intended to gain access to politicians, public officials, and business executives. To open doors, I have to donate, he told the New York Times in 2019. It's just a fact of life. Now, John, putting the corruption issue aside, you've been wanting a candlelight dinner with Donald and Melania Trump for a while now. You've said this is your dream. You're kind of a bucket list item for you. What do you? Which route are you going? With the straight donation or the fundraising?
To be clear, that's just the beginning of the dream. It don't start and stop with the dinner, to be clear. Gross. I would rather take the candle and jam it in my own eye sockets, I think, if I had the option. Let me just say, it is one thing for them to say you can donate $1 million and you get to have dinner with Donald and Melania. You could offer that. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that there's people who are going to do it. So first, that bothers me on multiple levels. First, the personal level. Can you imagine how uncomfortable that dinner is going to be? Like, I have a hard time imagining how any other couple that I'm not involved in gets along. I don't understand how other people's relationships work. But does anyone think that Donald and Melania have like great conversation? Who the hell thinks that? Are you insane? But then on a political level, you have $1 million to do a stupid dinner where Trump is just gonna talk about how windmills give birds cancer or whatever, like, and then that $1 million is gone after the end of that. We could take turns. It could be like John and Hank Green. We could go back and forth, and we could come up with 10,000 better things to do with $1 million. Like you and I are talking about possibly going to a WWE event. You could get front row ringside seats to every pay-per-view for a year, and airfare and meals. You could spend a year following the WWE around, watching every event. And what's that, like 200 grand or something? You're gonna shoot your wad on $1 million to eat like dried chicken with Donald Trump. That sucks. And honestly, I think the list of names of people who do that should be released. And I think that the government should impound their funds. Like if Doge wants to raise money for the government, I think, because clearly they can't be personally responsible for their own finances. We need like a conservatorship to save these billionaires from themselves.
Yeah. I like though that your example of things that you could do with $1 million is following the WWE around for a full year after we talked about this being your hypothetical bucket list item.
Look,
Like,
that's
no.
not the only thing. I would probably personally fund a second season of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I could probably get that going on. I have other ideas. Like I said, there are 10,000.
Yeah, well, you know, to each their own. Yes, we are considering a WWE event, and I don't think we're going to be spending $1 million. At least I hope not. I don't have that kind of money, but nonetheless, people are going to donate. Corporations are going to donate. Doesn't matter who gets elected, they're going to donate during these periods to these committees because it's an easy way to get access, to get something in return later down the line, to get preferential treatment, and to further this problem in our system of big money in politics. This is just one part of it. Of course, the campaign, all the super PACs, and all the different campaign apparatuses that they funnel money into is a big part of it as well. But this one feels uniquely gross because this is kind of more of an official side, not the campaign side. It's like the closest you can get to directly bribing a political official while still being legal.